This is the 7th grade benchmark. Please put your name on your test. Directions. Read each question carefully. For a multiple choice question, determine the best answer to the question from the 4 answer choices provided. For a griddable question, determine the best answer to the question, then fill in the answer on your answer document. Question 1. A company conducts research to predict how a new advertisement affects sales of a product. The equation below can be used to determine N, the number of people who buy the product if R people read the advertisement. N equals 0.08 R plus 7,400. If 7,496 people bought the product last week, how many people read the advertisement? A. 186,200. B. 600. C. 1,200. D. 93,700. Question 2. The equation 5W plus 3 equals 4W plus 9 is modeled below. If you have any questions about the modeling, please raise your hand. What value of W makes this equation true? Record your answer and fill in the bubbles on your answer document. Be sure to use the correct place value. Question 3. Roland sold candy bars for a school fundraiser during 3 weeks. Some information about Roland's candy bar sales is provided below. Roland sold 26 candy bars during the first week. The number of candy bars he sold during the second week was 4 less than 2 times the number of candy bars he sold during the first week. The number of candy bars he sold during the third week was 6 more than 1 and 1/2 times the number of candy bars he sold during the second week. What was the total number of candy bars Roland sold during the 3 weeks? A. 145. B. 152. C. 155. D. 142. Question 4. Andrew plays on a basketball team. In 2 games, he scored 2/5 of the total numbers of points his team scored. His team scored 55 points in the first game and 35 points in the second game. What was the number of points Andrew scored in these 2 games? F. 18. G. 20. H. 36. J. 90. Question 5. Cynthia started an exercise program. During the first week, she walked 1/2 mile every day. Every week, she increased the distance she walked each day by 1/2 mile. Which method can be used to determine the number of miles Cynthia walked each day during the 9th week of her exercise program? A. Add 1/2 to the product of 9 and 1/2. B. Multiply 9 by 1/2. C. Multiply 9 by the sum of 1/2 and 1/2. D. Add 9 and 1/2. Question 6. Which situation is best represented by the equation below? 7 equals 127 minus 5b. F. Of the 127 people attending a rugby game, 5 were at the concession stand, B were seated, and 7 were standing up and cheering. What is B, the number of attendees who were seated? G. There were 7 players left over after 127 rugby players in a league were divided into 5 teams with B players on each team? What is B, the number of players on each team? H. There were 5 players left over after 127 rugby players in a league were divided into 7 teams with B players on each team. What is B, the number of players on each team? J. Of B people attending a rugby game, there were 7 people at the concession stand, 127 people who were seated, and 5 people who were standing up and cheering. What is B, the number of people attending the game? Question 7. Jackie has a puzzle book that contains a total of 65 puzzles. She has completed 2 over 5 of the puzzles in the book. If Jackie completes 13 more puzzles, what is the total number of puzzles that she will have completed in the book? A. 26, because 2 over 5 times 65 equals 26. B. 52, because 2 over 5 plus 2 over 5 equals 4 over 5, and 4 over 5 times 65 equals 52. C. 39, because 2 over 5 times 65 equals 26, and 26 plus 13 equals 39. D. Not here. Question 8. Marcella bought a 25-ounce bottle of olive oil for $5.88. She used 60% of the olive oil in 2 weeks. Which of the following is closest to the cost of the oil she used? F. 24 cents. G. 39 cents. H. $2.35. J. $3.53. Question 9. Miranda made a model airplane using a scale in which 0.25 inch represents 2 feet. Which graph shows this relationship? A, B, C, or D? If you have any questions about the graphs, please raise your hand. Question 10. A total of 40 people made cakes for a bake sale. Each person made 3 cakes. Ms. Sanchez found that 15% of these cakes were chocolate. How many chocolate cakes were made for the bake sale? F. 120, G. 6, H. 18, J. Not here. Question 11. The temperature at 7 p.m. was 45 degrees Fahrenheit. From 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., the temperature decreased 5 degrees each hour. Which equation can be used to find T, the temperature at 11 p.m.? A. T equals 45 minus 5 times 11 minus 7. B. T equals 45 minus 5 times 11 plus 7. C. T equals 45 divided by 5 times 11 minus 7. D. T equals 45 plus 5 times 11 minus 7. Question 12. The table below shows the cost of mailing packages that weigh different amounts. Cost of mailing packages. If you have any more questions about the chart, please raise your hand. If the cost continues to increase as shown in the table, how much will it cost to mail a package that weighs exactly 11 ounces? F. $2.87. G. $4.87. H. $3.04. J. $5.87. Question 13. A package of 25 wristbands costs $5.25. At this rate, what is the cost of one wristband in dollars and cents? Record your answer and fill in the bubbles on your answer document. Be sure to use the correct place value. (14) Mr. Nelson sold 147 bags of popcorn and 216 bottles of water in 3 days. At this rate, how many more bottles of water than bags of popcorn will Mr. Nelson sell in 5 days? F. 84, G. 69, H. 115, J. Not here. Number 15. The bases of the two similar triangular prisms shown below are equilateral triangles. What is the value of x, an edge length of the larger prism, in centimeters? Record your answer and fill in the bubbles on your answer document. Be sure to use the correct place value. Question 16. There are 80 pieces of furniture for sale at a store. Of these pieces of furniture, 20 are desks and 10 are benches. The rest are chairs and tables. The ratio of the number of chairs to the number of tables is 3:2. Which circle graph best represents the pieces of furniture for sale at the store? F, G, H, J. If you have any questions about the graphs, please raise your hand. Question 17. Krista set up a monthly budget as represented by the circle graph below. Krista's monthly budget. If you have any questions or need help reading the graph, please raise your hand. Which conclusion is not supported by the circle graph? A. Krista spends 50% of her income on housing and food. B. Krista spends 25% of her income on her car and utilities. C. Krista spends 50% of her income on housing and utilities. D. Krista spends 25% of her income on food and entertainment. Question 18. Janelle drew KL in isosceles trapezoid FGHJ to create similar trapezoids FKLJ and KGHL. Based on the given information, what are the values of y and w in centimeters? F. Y equals 11 centimeters and W equals 15 centimeters. G. Y equals 15 centimeters and W equals 15 centimeters. H. Y equals 11 centimeters and W equals 27 centimeters. J. Y equals 15 centimeters and W equals 27 centimeters. Question 19. Triangle QRS and triangle QTV are similar. Which equation must be true? A. TV over RS equals TQ over RQ. B. TQ over VQ equals TV over TR. C. VQ over SQ equals RQ over RS. D. TV over VQ equals RS over RQ. Question 20. Felix is reading the sign below in order to decide when to go to a violin lesson. If you would like the sign read to you, please raise your hand. The list below shows some of the possible outcomes of one day and one time to have a violin lesson. If you would like this chart read to you, please raise your hand. Which list shows all the other possible outcomes of one day and one time to have a lesson? F, G, H, or J? If you need any of that read, please raise your hand. Question 21. The list below shows the number of shirts of different types that Savannah sold one day at a store. Shirt with vertical stripes, 6. Shirt with horizontal stripes, 4. Shirt with a school mascot, 5. Shirt that is plain, 18. Based on these results, what is the most reasonable prediction of the number of shirts with a school mascot that will be sold out of the next 165 shirts sold? A. 25. B. 160. C. 28. D. 140. Question 22. Miss Jacobs is a photographer. For each job, she charges $135 for the first hour she works and $100 for each additional hour. Miss Jacobs charged a total of $535 for a job on Friday. Which equation can be used to determine H, the number of additional hours she worked on this job? F, 135H plus 100 equals 535. G, 135 plus H plus 100 equals 535. H, 135 plus 100 H equals 535. J, 135 H equals 535 plus 100. Question 23. The arrow on each spinner shown below will be spun one time. Which of the following diagrams shows all the possible outcomes when each arrow is spun once? A, B, C, D. Question 24. The numbers below form an arithmetic sequence: -4, -7, -10, -13, -16. Which expression can be used to find the nth term in the sequence? F, -3n minus 1, G, 3n minus 4, H, -3n plus 4, J, 3n plus 1. Question 25. Fazio is selecting a jersey. His choices are shown below. Fazio chooses a jersey at random and then replaces it. He then selects a second jersey at random. What is the probability that Fazio selects a striped jersey both times? A, 1 over 100. B, 1 over 16. C, 1 over 25. D, 1 over 81. Question 26. A DVD player is in the shape of a rectangular prism. It has a length of 17 inches, a width of 10.2 inches, and a height of 2 inches. What is the volume of the DVD player in cubic inches? Record your answer and fill in the bubbles on your answer document. Be sure to use the correct place value. Question 27. A bag of fruit contains 3 apples, 2 oranges, 1 banana, and 4 pears. Gerald will randomly select 2 pieces of fruit, one at a time, from the bag and not put them back. What is the probability that the first piece of fruit Gerald selects will be a banana and the second piece of fruit will be a pear? A. 1/25. B. 2/45. C. 1/2. D. 4/9. Question 28. Trent used the expression below to find the volume in cubic centimeters of a square pyramid. 1/3 times 12 to the 2 times 14. Which square pyramid has a volume equal to the value of the expression Trent wrote? F, G, H, J. Question 29. One of the tokens for a board game is a circle containing 5 congruent triangles, as modeled below. Which measurement is closest to the area in square centimeters of the token not covered by the triangles? A. 2.5 centimeters squared. B. 28.27 centimeters squared. C. 110.6 centimeters squared. D. 25.76 centimeters squared. Question 30. A crate is shaped like a rectangular prism. The crate is 1.2 feet wide, 3 feet long, and 4.5 feet tall. What is the volume of the crate in cubic feet? Record your answer and fill in the bubbles on your answer document. Be sure to use the correct place value. Question 31. Jessica has a rectangular picture. The picture is similar to a rectangle that measures 4 inches by 6 inches. What could be the dimensions of Jessica's picture? A. 8 inches by 10 inches. B. 2 inches by 3 inches. C. 5 inches by 7 inches. D. 12 inches by 14 inches. Question 32. The park modeled below consists of a rectangular area and 2 semicircular areas. The area of the rectangular part of the park is 60,000 square yards. Which of the following is closest to the distance along the perimeter of this park? F. 628 yards. G. 914 yards. H. 1,856 yards. J. 1,228 yards. Question 33. A gumball machine contained 60 gumballs one morning. The list below shows the number of gumballs of each color that came out of the machine during that day. 6 red, 7 purple, 4 green, 3 blue, 5 orange, 5 pink. What fraction of the gumballs that came out of the machine that day were purple? A. 7/30. B. 7/23. C. 1/7. D. 1/6. Question 34. Use the ruler provided to measure the dimensions of the figure below to the nearest ½ inch. Which of the following is closest to the area of this figure in square inches? F. 18 inches squared. G. 19.50 inches squared. H. 8.25 inches squared. J. 39 inches squared. Question 35. Raja drew a circle and labeled the center S. He used the expression 12 times pi to find the circumference of the circle in inches. Which of the following could be the circle Raja drew? A, B, C, or D? Question 36. The net of a square pyramid is shown below. Use the ruler provided to measure the dimensions of the net to the nearest 1/4 inch. Which of the following is closest to the lateral surface area of the pyramid? F. 2.5 inch squared. G. 3.3 inch squared. H. 6.6 inch squared. J. 1.6 inch squared. Question 37. At a summer camp, there is one counselor for every 8 campers. Write an equation for the number of campers, y, that there are for x counselors. Then graph. A. Y equals x over 8. B. Y equals 8x plus 8. C. Y equals 8x. D. Y equals 8x. If you need help with any other parts of the graph, please raise your hand. Question 38. Hector went shopping for a computer. At RST Store, a computer originally priced at $955 had a price reduction of 40%. What was the reduced price? F. $915. G. $573. H. $1,337. J. $382. Question 39. Graph the equation y equals 5x minus 4 and tell whether it is linear. A, B, C, D. Question 40. Identify the number or numbers that are equivalent to a terminating decimal. 4 and 2 over 9, 5 and 3 over 8, -1 and 1 over 4, 17 and 1 over 3. F. -1 and 1 over 4. G. 4 and 2 over 9, 5 and 3 over 8. H. 5 and 3 over 8. J. 5 and 3 over 8, -1 and 1 over 4. Question 41. On a map, the distance between two cities is 7.3 centimeters. What is the actual distance between these two cities if the map scale is 1 centimeter to 50 kilometers. A. 365 kilometers. B. 365 centimeters. C. 400 kilometers. D. 500 kilometers. Question 42. A watch cost $75.99. If the sales tax rate is 6.25%, what is the amount of sales tax? F. 48 cents. G. $2.19. H. $4.75. J. $474.94. Question 43. The graph shows the distance Tricia walks over time. Does she walk at a constant or variable speed? How fast is Tricia walking? If you need help reading the graph, please raise your hand. A. Constant speed, 3 miles over hours. B. Constant speed, 6 miles over hours. C. Constant speed, 1.5 miles over hour. D. Variable speed, 6 mile over hour. Question 44. A car salesperson earns a monthly salary of $1,000 per month plus $150 for each car sold. The equation y equals 150x plus 1,000 represents the total monthly salary. Graph the equation using the slope and y-intercept. F, G, H, J. If you need help reading any of the graphs, please raise your hand. Question 45. Bruce took a survey of high school students to see how many had part-time jobs last summer. The results of the survey are shown in the table. Compare the probability that a student in the senior class had a part-time job to the probability that a student in the junior class had a part-time job. If you need anything in the graph read to you, please raise your hand. A. A senior is more likely than a junior to have a job. B. A senior is less likely than a junior to have a job. C. A senior is just as likely as a junior to have a job. D. A senior is not likely to have a job at all. Question 46. An experiment consisted of rolling a number cube and the results are shown. Predict the number of times the number cube will land on an even number in 400 rolls. If you need help reading the table, please raise your hand. F, 44, G, 80, H, 124, J, 276. Question 47. Rigoletto's Portraits specializes in making circular portraits of people. A large portrait is 78 inches in diameter. A medium portrait is 26 inches in diameter. Estimate the difference between the areas of the two sizes of portraits. Use 3.14 for pi. Round your answer to the nearest whole number. A. About 82 inches squared. B. About 4,245 inches squared. C. About 16,981 inches squared. D. About 163 inches squared. Question 48. The lives of two different brands of 60-watt light bulbs are shown in the box and whisker plots. Compare the medians and the ranges of the data set. Need anything in the box and whisker plots read? Please raise your hand. F. The medians are equal. Glow-Brite has a greater range. G. The medians are equal. Luminate has a greater range. H. Glow-Brite has a greater median. Glow-Brite has a greater range. J. Glow-Brite has a greater median. Luminate has a greater range. Question 49. Sue Nowak and her two children are moving from El Paso to Laredo. Sue Nowak will earn $2,200 more per year at her new job in Laredo. Based on the chart that Sue made using an online cost of living tool, what is the annual difference between the increase in her wages and the increase in cost of living? If you need anything in the chart read, please raise your hand. A. $1,692. B. $1,744. C. $508. D. $2,059. Question 50. Nicole deposited $2,000 at 6% simple interest. How long will it be before she has $2,600 in her account? F. 4 years. G. 5 years. H. 6 years. J. 7 years. Question 51. Arletta and Keenan each plan to spend at least 20 minutes per day working out. The dot plots show what the number of minutes per day each worked out for the first few weeks. Which of the statements about the two data sets is true? Arletta, Keenan. A. The data sets have the same median. B. The data sets have the same mean absolute deviation. C. The data sets have the same interquartile range. D. The data have the same mode. Question 52. The table represents the Martin family's budget. Their net monthly income is $3,900. How much does the Martin family put in savings in a year? If you need anything from the chart read, please raise your hand. F. $120. G. $390. H. $2,028. J. $4,680. Question 53. Kristen wants to do hardwood flooring for her room. A floor plan of the room in feet is shown. How much hardwood flooring does she need? A. 144 feet squared. B. 112 feet squared. C. 116 feet squared. D. 60 feet squared. Question 54. A rectangle has a length of x plus 4 centimeters and a width of x centimeters. The perimeter of the rectangle is 28 centimeters. What is the value of x? F 6, G 4, H 7, J 5.